going to do my makeup. I have a bunch of videos to record today, so I'm just going to do my makeup on live, chat with you guys a little bit while I do it. I figure we can talk about some trending topics and things going on while I do my makeup. If you guys didn't catch my live the other day, I went live and colored my hair jet black. Not all of it ended up being covered because it was red. So some of it didn't get covered. But I'm going to recolor the parts that didn't turn black. But I'm just giving my hair a little bit of a break before I do that. So right now I'm just starting with my skincare. Good morning, Miss Hollywood. How are you? I'm just starting with my skincare. I always use Fenty before I start my makeup. I just like Fenty. It works well for my skin. I wouldn't say it works well for young skin. I would say it works better for more middle to mature skin, middle age to mature skin. I would say if you're over like 25, between like 25 and like 60, I would say, is kind of like the sweet spot for Fenty. I tried to have my daughter use Fenty, and it's just not, I don't think it's that great for young skin. But yeah, I love it for my skin. So I use the cleanser, I use the toner, and I use the hydrolyzer or whatever you call it. It's their moisturizer, which also has a sunscreen in it. So I use those. And I also usually put on like a lip gloss. I wish they had like a lip balm. I don't know if they have a lip balm. I would use it if they had that. But all right, so let's get started. We're gonna talk some hot topics today. I used to do this a while back. I would chit chat while I did my makeup, chit chat with you guys, and then I would turn off the live and record my videos. So I think I'm going to start getting back to doing that, only because I really enjoy like watching commentary channels and, you know, just staying in the know on what's going on in hot topics and trending topics. So I just enjoy that. So this week has been pretty crazy. I've been watching the commentary channels this week, and there's a lot going on with Travis Scott in this Astroworld situation. So I figured we could start there, talking about that. If you guys don't know, Travis Scott, he's like a pop rap artist, I guess. He's a pop rap artist. And he's affiliated with the Kardashians because I think he has a baby with Kylie Jenner. But anyway, he's a musician. He makes music, and he had a festival either this week or last week. He had a festival, and at the festival, people got trampled. People got trampled, and people got like really badly hurt, and some people passed away. And so at this concert, while this was going on, one of the fans was trying to tell one of the workers that was operating the video camera to stop the concert and stop the music and try to help the people, try to have
that Travis Scott concert?
That Travis Scott concert.
I know. Oh my gosh, that's even people in my school are talking about that. Travis, people were going on stage
Hi,
and
Melinda.
telling him turn the camera off, stop the concert,
Mm-hmm.
people are dying.
Mm-hmm.
But he said in his apology video, he said he couldn't hear. He said he couldn't hear anyone say that to him when there was people. Two people came on the stage and were screaming at him to stop the concert. But he did hear somebody tell him do the robot.
So that the craziest part was, that was my daughter saying that. Can you tell Logan to stop yelling, please? Okay. My daughter was just saying that part, and that's actually true. So like, what was happening was people were trying to get Travis Scott's attention from the stage, but people were also trying to get the workers' attention. You know, one guy was went so far as to actually like get onto the stage and try to talk to people to try to stop the concert, but no one would. None of the people working the concert would stop it or anything like that. And so people were literally just getting like squeezed to death, and they couldn't breathe, and they would pass out and like fall down. And because the concert was so tight, people were pressed together so tightly, if you fell down, there was no way to stand back up, because wherever you would fall down, like that gap would be pressed together. And so people would just be standing on top of you at that point. And even if they didn't want to stand on top of you, they couldn't move because people were so pressed together and there was no spaces between people. So that's what happened at Astroworld Festival. I guess the whole entirety of the festival was fine, but this was happening at the concert portion of the festival. So, yeah, my thing is this. People are trying to figure out where to place blame and whose fault it was and who's really to blame. You know, my thing is, it's always going to be the responsibility of Travis Scott, ultimately, to create an environment that's safe and healthy for his fans, you know? And people say, well, this could happen at any concert. But I don't believe it could, actually. I believe that if health and safety is a #1 priority for an artist, then everyone that comes into contact with that artist will understand that artist's value system and will understand what is most important to this artist. Because I think that speaks volumes. It speaks more than what words can say. You can sit here and say that you care about your fans. You can say that, but if your actions don't align with that, then the people that are working with you and making decisions along with you will hold the value system that they see you hold in action, right? So if you care, if you're the type of if you're the type of artist that cares about their fans, you're not. Wow. Wow. I did not know that. I didn't even know Pearl Jam was still performing live. That's crazy. But yeah, if you're the type of artist that cares about things like that and cares about your fans, the people that work with you will be forced to care about that too, because that's a non-negotiable for you. And so if you think about, I remember one time there was a concert, and this clip was going around. Somebody jumped up on stage at a Ariana Grande concert. One of her fans jumped up on stage, and security literally bum rushed the fan and literally like tackled the fan to the point where that person was definitely going to be hurt. And Ariana Grande was like, no, like, chill, calm down, like, relax, get off of the person, Like, you're hurting them. Relax. And she was like, okay, like, nobody else get on the stage, but at the same time, you're not going to inflict pain on someone on my behalf, because that's not the value system that I hold. Like, me being safe is not at the expense of someone else's health and bodily injury. Like, stop. And so, right. And so, if that is the way that an artist relates to their fans and cares about human beings and human life, and just cares about their fans and their experiences, then the people around them are going to understand, like, we can't be tackling people to the ground at an Ariana Grande concert. Like, she's not going to allow it. And so, because she actually cares. But like, when you're telling, yes?
Can I get some cake?
No, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. You cannot have a piece of cake. No, but she shouldn't have did that. You need to get a bowl of cereal or something. I'm going to make crepes in a little bit. But yeah, it's like, you're not going to do this. Now, on the other side of that, you have Travis Scott, who apparently, and there's video of it, was telling people to bum rush the stage. Like, you can't make this stuff up, right? Like, he was literally telling people to move closer, turn this into a mosh pit, like, let's shake the ground. Not a piece of cake, right? Right. I don't know what time zone y'all are in, but here on the East Coast, it's definitely 9 a.m. Like, I'm still drinking my coffee. I haven't even switched to mimosas yet. It's still too early for mimosas. Like, what are we talking about? So yeah, it's like, on the other side of that, you have, whoops, sorry guys. Sorry. On the other complete side of that, you have, Travis Scott telling people, after people are literally trying to get his attention, to tell him that people are getting crushed and trampled, he's telling them to shake the ground and turn this place into a mosh pit and shake the ground. Like, do you realize people are on the ground not being able to breathe and being trampled alive? And now you want people... Do I remember those wigs? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I remember those. So yeah, it's just like very bizarre. And so, yes, I do remember. That was so long ago. I feel like that was like almost 4 years ago. Maybe 3. Yeah, that wig is absolutely beautiful. I don't even think they do those types of colors anymore. Or do they? I remember Bobby Boss was really good with colors. I always liked Outre for like the blonde colors, but I always liked Bobby Boss for like the bright, really pretty, well blended color combinations that just look really pretty together. Like, Bobby Boss was always really good at blues. Good morning. How are you? How are you? Sandstone. Who makes sandstone? I never heard of that one. Whoops, sorry. Trying to see this last comment. Yeah. Yeah, the oil slick was definitely cute. I feel like that has sort of come back a little bit. I can't remember who brought a couple of those back. Maybe it was Bobby Boss. because they always tend to do color really well. I'm not, who made the sandstone one, Melinda? I don't know what color that is. What company made that one? Was that Outre? But yeah, so I'm just like, that was just such a tragedy. And it just makes me worried because, like, you know, I have kids and I can only imagine what a parent must feel like finding out that their child was injured or even lost at a concert. Oh, it's Outre, yeah. At a concert. Like, that must be the worst. I can only imagine how horrible that must be. And it's definitely the fault of Travis Scott, like 100%. I place the blame on the amphitheater, wherever it was held, on the managing partner, whoever it was, Live Nation or whoever these concert managing partners are, the venue and Travis Scott 100%. They all share a role in the responsibility of that tragedy. So I can only imagine what's going to come out of it. You know, because I'm sure these families are going to take legal action because it was pure negligence. It was a field, not a stadium. Well, there's still someone that manages it. And, you know, the police department, whoever, several different people dropped the ball in that situation. And to me, they're all liable. You know, they're all liable. And that's sort of a tragedy. But then I was watching this video talking about BBLs are over. And I was like, wait, what? Women are going to... Yes, absolutely. They all had a hand to play in it. And if any one of those partners had stood up and said, hold on, we're going to stop this for 5 minutes to figure out what's going on, that whole situation could have went differently. If the people who managed the field had said stop, if the people who managed the event had said stop, or if Travis Scott had said stop. Concerts have been stopped before for all sorts of different reasons. Rain, weather, thunder. Concerts have been stopped because the music cut out. Concerts have been stopped because the mics weren't working, because the sound cut off. You mean to tell me you can't stop a concert to make sure that people aren't getting trampled to death? What? It's absurd. It's completely absurd. You know, when you have someone, like the amount of panic in that guy's voice when he was saying, like, I watched the video and this guy was absolutely panicked, telling the man, the cameraman, please, people are literally losing their lives, like pleading with him to cut the music for 5 minutes. And they just were like, nope. So yeah, but then I watched this video talking about BBLs are over. And I was just like, I had to click on that video because I'm like, there's no way BBLs are over. Like, people are definitely, women are definitely still getting Brazilian butt lifts. Like, that's still a thing. But what the video was saying is like, these extreme bodies, right? These extreme. So here's the thing, right? I believe that, you know, women can achieve certain body goals by eating right and working out. But some things are just like structurally not how your body is set up. Like, I don't care how much you diet. If you don't have an hourglass figure, your body frame can't change through dieting, right? Like, you will have to modify your waist somehow to create the hourglass. So whether it's through waist training or lipo or whatever it is, you're not going to have an hourglass figure if your body structure isn't like that. Um, right, exactly. And that's the thing, right? Like, I think I think the issue is absolutely about respect. And you can enjoy the music and you can enjoy the vibe and the scene, but it all goes back to exactly what you said about respect. And when people have no respect for one another and they're so desensitized to pain, to injury, to, the ability to really hurt someone, I think there's a lot of desensitization to those sorts of things, um, that people don't even like recognize or register pain in the same way that we used to, um, before social media. I think we've become so desensitized to things that we can see someone in pain, and it doesn't register. It doesn't affect you, the way that I think, it should or it used to. Like, your knee jerk reaction is probably to like record it, or your knee jerk reaction is probably to just tell somebody like they're overreacting, as opposed to really trying to identify like why they're in pain and what is bothering them or hurting them. Like, it's so much of this like mind your business sort of attitude. Like, the greater good isn't a thing. Like, we all just need to mind our business. But you can't always just mind your own business. Because sometimes you minding your business, it could come back to bite you, because that thing that you're ignoring could start to affect you. And that's what was happening, right? Like, when you hear the accounts of people saying what happened at Astroworld, like, they'll say like, I was reading this one. Whoops, sorry guys, I keep hitting this. I was reading this one girl's recount of what was happening, and she was just saying like, the more Travis Scott was telling people to like get closer to the stage, the more people were like pressed against the person ahead of them, and like you could feel the person behind you against the person in front of you, and you were literally being like compressed, and some people would like lose their breath and fall down. And when people were like losing their breath and they were like, please stop moving forward, like, can you help me? And they would be looking at the person next to them like, can you help me? Like, the person next to them would be like, you're fine, like, just enjoy the show, like almost pretending like it didn't matter, until the person next to them started getting squished, and now all of a sudden they're asking for help, right? So it's like, it doesn't matter that the person next to you is in pain until you're the person that's in pain as well. And so, that's the type of situations that are like scary to me. Now, I've always been um the type of person who doesn't like concerts. I don't like concerts. My kids can even tell you, people close to me can even tell you, like, I do not like concerts, and I do not like um what do you call those places? Amusement parks. And I don't like airports particularly either. I don't like large areas, large places with very few exits and tons of people. Right? Right. Because crowds are unpredictable and exits are hard to find. So anywhere like that where there's a lot of people and hard to find exits or very few exits, those types of places make me very, very uncomfortable. And so I'll get anxiety in those types of situations. I don't know what you call that, what phobia that is. I don't think it's like an anxiety. It's particularly a phobia. So I have a phobia of places with lots and lots of people and few hard to reach exits. So I don't know what that is, but that I have that particular phobia. So anything like, yeah, airports, amusement parks, and concerts, particularly those three, are like triggers for that anxiety that I have. I still travel because I enjoy traveling, so I still go to the airports, but I'll take myself a little sip of something. But amusement parks I avoid, which is terrible for my kids because they never get to go unless someone else takes them. I have taken my kids to amusement parks. I could probably count on one hand how many times. Um, but concerts I never go to. Yeah. Yeah. Vodka while flying helps me. So, yeah.
All three of us, when we were going to bed, we all laid in the couch.
I heard that. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that. But when I came in to look at you guys, I couldn't figure out where you all were. And now it makes sense. You were in the guest bed. um, oh, yeah. So I've never tried sleeping pills. But I definitely hear those work too. Yeah, survival instinct, I guess. I don't know. But it just like it really affects me. So I would never go to a concert. So these sorts of things would probably never, I wouldn't necessarily encounter. But I do go to festivals. So that's what kind of made me nervous about this situation, because I'm just like, I definitely go to festivals, but for concerts and performances, like I would never be in the crowd because it just makes me nervous and uncomfortable. But it's just scary, you know, it's just scary to think about. But yeah, I'm gonna do a wig review today. I did one yesterday that I'll probably post this week on this this Johari wig. And then today I'm gonna do one on this Brizella wig. Yeah. So I'm gonna do those two today. Well, I already did the one. You guys need to stop yelling. So yeah. I'm not telling you guys what I'm using on my face. I probably should be. Right. Right. You guys got to tell me which wigs you all are excited about, because I'm getting back into the wigs. I stopped reviewing wigs for a while, only because there's a grind in reviewing synthetic wigs. That the pace of reviewing synthetic wigs is just too arduous and like hard and fast and time sensitive, and you know, there's just a pace in reviewing synthetic wigs that sometimes, you guys, I just have to take a break from it. You know, trying to get the newest wigs, always researching the newest drops, working with the companies. You know, some of the drops come back to back to back, and you have to review 10 wigs in 3 days. And it's just like, there's a grind to it. And then sometimes you review the wrong wig and the video doesn't do well. And it's like all this time and effort and like stress and energy. And, you know, then you know, people watch the video or don't watch the video, and they only watch it for like a week, and it's dead after that. I don't know, you guys. It's just like, it's tough with synthetic wigs, with crochets, and with crochets and twists and locks. I feel like the content you know, it's not so time sensitive and fast, and you know, it hits and then it's dead and the content is done. Like, you do a crochet video that helps people, and it continually, it continues to grow, and it continues to stay relevant, and it continues to help people. And even like 2 and 3 years later, people are still engaging with that content, and that content is still valuable to people. Whereas, you know, you do all this work, and I do. Whereas you do all this work for, you know, these synthetic wigs, and yeah, you know, and you do all this work for these synthetic wigs, and it's just like, damn, you know, I've been working so hard and nobody's even like engaging with this anymore. And so I had to take a break. I had to take a break. But one thing I do know, I still love me a good old synthetic wig. Hey, hey, how are you, Diamond? It's been a long time since I've seen your name pop up. How are you? So yeah, I'm back reviewing synthetic wigs. How do I create a schedule for that? So you know what? It's hard. It's hard to create a schedule for synthetic wigs because you don't always know what's dropping and what's going to be hot. So what I try to do is follow all the synthetic wig pages. And then I also follow the larger beauty supply stores on Instagram. And so when they have a new drop coming, they'll usually do a preview on Instagram. And if you have a relationship with some of these brands, you can reach out to your brand partner and try to get like a preview that hasn't been released yet. And usually they will have something. It may not be in like the color you want or the style that you want, or, you know, whatever. But a lot of times in this synthetic wig game, it's about who gets it the earliest and who creates the content the fastest and who gets it out. So if you can consistently be the first and the best, then you can grow in that way. That is definitely a strategy. For me, it's less about being the first to create the content. For me, it's about putting like my own spin on the content. I was very concerned about being the first for a long time. And I think that probably is how I grew my channel to be larger. Being the first to do something always gives you a little bit of an advantage, right? Like if people know a wig is coming out and they know that you oftentimes are the first one to review it, they'll be checking for you a lot more. And so, you know, that is a strategy. It's just a hard one to consistently stick with. Being the first to do something means you kind of like dedicate all your time and energy to your YouTube channel, which if this is your business, that makes sense. So I definitely did that for years. But it is a grueling process, and you'll see a lot of YouTubers that do that need to like take a break, right? Because creating YouTube content is not like creating content for other platforms, right? Like for Instagram, if you're an Instagram content creator, You can go out and take pictures. Holiday look ideas, absolutely. I'm going to do them for clothes and for hair. Not for makeup. I don't do makeup tutorials anymore. I know people are always like wanting to kind of see what I'm using these days. And I get a lot more questions about it these days. But I'm just not doing makeup tutorials anymore. Because again, they're time consuming. And you know, most people don't watch me for makeup. So I'm like, but I'm definitely gonna do holiday dresses ideas, holiday wig ideas, and I may even do some natural look ideas for the holidays. Would you guys want that not as early as Thanksgiving, right? Probably just Christmas and New Year's, right? Christmas dresses and New Year's dresses. Or would that be something that you guys would be interested in for Thanksgiving? Logan, stop being loud. Stop being loud. I did do a review on some contacts. These are the ones that I'm wearing now. I know people a lot of times ask about the contacts, so there is a review on the contacts I'm wearing right now. These ones are SL70 brown, and they're from Just for Kira. I like Just for Kira because their browns are very pretty. And you know, for women of color, the browns are pretty. You know what I'm getting Black Friday? I'm getting a TV. I've already decided because I'm like, we need another TV up in here. Sharing TVs is not the tea. It's definitely not the tea.